we've figured out some hard truths. There's a reality that there's a lot of role players from last season that are now in leadership positions, and then there was a lot of new role players coming into the team. And the reality is we've only been working with them since August 10th, and 4-4 is not a great record. It's not something that we're going to hang our hat on. But at the end of the day, the truth that came out is that we need guys to hold people accountable. That there's a demand to be a part of this organization on a daily basis, to bring your best self and to bring your best effort. And we pride ourselves on the three things that you can control: your positioning, your work rate, and your mentality. And so for us, whether it's a role player or whether it's a new leader, a lot of people are struggling with their own things, and rightfully so. Whether it's injuries, whether there's fear of leadership moments, whether there's insecurities, of poor play or bad play. It's just a great reminder that we need to be collective, and that the togetherness is what makes us different. We take pride in the process, and we take pride. They worked their butts off for 9 months to put them in this situation, but now we need to take pride. Now the real work really begins. So in a really, really long about way to answer the question is, we found out that we do have a good leadership core in the group, and that we do have guys that can play their roles, but it's been inconsistent. And so for us, when we're playing at our best and we have that proactive fighting football style, we're really hard to beat, and we've been kind of dominating teams. But the reality is we haven't sustained it, and when it's not sustained, I think there's a lack of demand and accountability from the older guys. But I totally understand why some of them are put in the situation that that they're in. Yeah, we've gotten really unlucky this season. We've gotten goals called back that shouldn't be called back. We've got offsides called against us on breakaways that weren't. We've got fouls called against us that led to goals that weren't. But those are excuses. And so for us, we feel that as long as we continue to move along on this process-oriented approach, and we continue to grow, get better, demand more from each other, that we'll continue to grow. So the St. Mary's game is interesting because if you tie that game or if you win that game, you probably don't have as hard a look at yourself as we did. Instead of being 4-4, you're 5-3, and you slipped up in a couple games, But at the end of the day, I think the couple days allows us to gain perspective, mindfulness about our roles in the organization, my role included, all the mistakes that I've made to this point. We talk about new leaders, new role players. Well, there was some really poor management tactics on my part, where I'm trying to challenge guys or push them, and when in reality they need support, they need confidence. So taking a step back and looking at ourselves as a staff and say, all right, where are we failing the kids? Where are we not supporting the kids? Where are we not demanding enough? And then, for all the leadership guys, to be asking the same questions, and then for the kids, to all be asking the same questions of each other. We did a leadership exercise on Tuesday that I think was really good. We had kids grade each other. We had a little small group leadership workshop where they were grading each other, and I think there were some hard truths to hear in that locker room. But at the end of the day, my guys are not really scared of the truth because they understand, that through that truth and through that demand and through that accountability, that's how they're going to get the best versions of themselves. And I think the biggest message that we took away from the past couple days is just that we need everybody. We need everybody to play their role. We need everybody to do their job. Myself included. So it's definitely been a humbling experience. To have all the success that we had. But at the end of the day, if we've learned all these hard truths and we're at this place right now, we're going to be better for it here. Come here next week and the following. You couldn't have asked for a better time. We just had our best training session of the year. There was fire, there was passion. That was that inspiring, proactive, fighting football. That's who we are. That's why we did something that hadn't been done in 40 years in college soccer, and the reality is we just hadn't been able to sustain that. And I think we figured out why, and I think we're addressing those things, and it's not just going to happen overnight. We feel that there's still tons of room of growth and development for the kids. But what makes me feel confident is that there's not too many teams in the country that can say, "Oh yeah, these are our problems, and this is how we're going to fix them." And I think we've done that. And at the end of the day, this team has the talent, experience, and the leadership to win knockout style games come November and December.